Well, we are expecting strong to damaging winds to come into the forecast as we go Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. If you're wondering about the forecast for Monday, well, the good news is it's going to be just fine. We're going to see partly sunny skies, and those temperatures are right around the freezing mark. Now, as far as Tuesday morning, we're still going to be okay. It's still going to be below freezing for most locations. As we get into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, our winds really start increasing, and we do have a high wind warning in effect for Jefferson and Lewis counties. That's from 1 p.m. on Tuesday until 10 a.m. on Wednesday. That's for Jefferson and Lewis counties. Now, for you in St. Lawrence County, we do have a high wind watch for southern St. Lawrence County. That's from 7 p.m. on Tuesday until 1 p.m. on Wednesday. I'd be surprised if this wasn't upgraded to a high wind warning as well, and northern St. Lawrence County potentially getting a wind advisory out of this. As far as kind of taking you throughout the precipitation aspect of this, you can see Monday or Tuesday morning, we're completely dry out there. No rain, no snow, no sleet, no freezing rain, no precipitation to talk about at all on Tuesday morning. That starts to change as we get into the afternoon hours on Tuesday. You can see advancing our European model there, we start seeing some snow coming into play by the time we get towards the afternoon hour, say 12, 1 o'clock potentially. So it does start as snow, but we start seeing a rapid warm up. So that changes it from snow over to rain for lower elevations to start. And you can see that happening there by 6 p.m. for us on Tuesday evening. Good news is really warm air is going to be bringing really kind of surging up into the North Country with this as well. So that's going to change all of it over to rain as we go towards the later night hours of Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, I will say on the front side of this, when we do have the snow, we could have a few issues with blowing snow, and that's because the winds are going to be rather gusty, and we have that fresh snow that fell last night into today, and then we will be starting a snow as well. But once the rain starts, that should put an end to the blowing snow, and those temperatures will be warming and melting some of the snow away as well. But we have rain continuing as we go into early Wednesday morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You can see everyone across the North Country and most of the state of New York are now seeing just plain old rain, and it's heavy at times as well. Wind still gusty at that time. As we get towards 7 o'clock, temperatures starting to change, cold fronts moving on through, so temperatures start dropping once again as we go throughout the day on Wednesday. So our warmest temperatures for this week are actually going to be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, because then our temperatures start dropping as we go throughout Wednesday, and you can see that starts giving us mixed precipitation by the time we get towards the afternoon, and even some snow picking up by Wednesday afternoon and evening hours, and then eventually transitioning to lake effect snow overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Don't worry, winds will be calm by then, but the big concern right now is the wind that we're going to be seeing with this system. So looking at our wind gust forecast here, we can see winds by 2 o'clock in the afternoon already gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour on Tuesday. Notice that the winds are coming out of the southeast. That's why we're really concerned about this, because our trees naturally grow to support a southwest wind, and we're going to have a strong southeast wind, and that's going to kind of be an issue for our trees. We're going to have a very saturated ground. It's very soggy out there because of the fresh snow and all the rain that we've had. So that's an issue as well. And then we could be talking winds gusting upwards of 70 miles per hour for some locations. And you can see that by the time we get towards the afternoon, winds already gusting upwards of 50 to 55 miles per hour. Notice how it's Montague, Mansville, up towards Fort Drum and Watertown, seeing those stronger wind gusts. And that's where we're expecting them as well. Even into southern St. Lawrence County along the northern slopes of the Adirondacks as we get some downsloping winds kind of accelerating off of the Adirondacks. And then by 12 a.m., look at that. Wind gust 67 for Mansville, 69 for Montague. Winds are going to be howling around midnight on Wednesday, so they are going to be very strong for us, and we are expecting some power outages and some damage from these strong winds coming out of the southeast. The good news is, as we go towards Wednesday morning, very early in the morning, winds start calming down, so it's not going to last all day Wednesday. In fact, by 6 o'clock in the morning, you can see most of the winds have come down, and they're only coming out about the southwest and west at about 20 to 30 miles per hour for wind gusts. Now, if you're wondering about sustained winds during the time, we could see sustained winds upwards of 40 miles per hour as well. So that's going to be a big issue when we're seeing those stronger wind gusts overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. And then as we go throughout Wednesday, winds start calming down even more. So what are we expecting for wind gusts as a whole? So instead of just showing you that one graphic, we're going to go ahead and do something like I would do for snowfall. So this is what we're expecting for wind gusts. That red area right here, we are expecting 55 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, potentially even stronger than that. And then that brown area right here, Evans Mills, Fort Drum, we're expecting 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. And then along the St. Lawrence River, it drops down quite a bit, where we're talking about winds gusting only up to 45 miles per hour. And that's really not that big of an issue for those locations. Who are we expecting to see the strongest winds? We're expecting Carthage, Black River, Great Bend, let's say Rutland, Champion, Rodman, Adams Center, Watertown Center, Adams, Barnes Corners, Copenhagen, Lowville. Those areas will be seeing the strongest of the winds. We're expecting it to be right around the Tug Hill region where we're seeing the strongest. The city of Watertown could get on that as well. So that is something that we're really watching and paying attention to. So breaking all this down, the big takeaways from this, we're going to have strong winds that start Tuesday p.m. So afternoon is when those winds really start. And then the strongest will be overnight, gust upwards of 70 miles per hour for some locations. Snow to start this. That could be an issue with blowing snow Tuesday afternoon around the time schools are letting out. So that's going to be an issue for us. And then it turns to all rain by Wednesday in the morning. And then as we get towards Wednesday afternoon, colder air comes moving back in. Winds are dying down. It changes back over to snow. And then we start seeing some lake effect snow for us on Thursday. Could see advisory level criteria for that for the Tug Hill Plateau, but other locations not so much. So that's the wind. And let's kind of start talking about that Thursday system and going into the weekend, because a lot of people are kind of already wondering, well, what are we expecting for the weekend? You're hearing that there's going to be another storm system brewing, and there is another storm system brewing, so let's go ahead and talk about it for you. So that lake effect for us by Thursday morning, you can see coming off of Lake Ontario, potentially clipping the city of Watertown and Fort Drum. And then it does shift south as we go throughout the day. So I think by the evening hours, most of it is to the south of Watertown, south of 177 on Thursday. And then as we go towards Friday, kind of starting to dry up. We lose our moisture. Things are dry to start Friday. Notice Friday morning we're dry. Winds aren't that bad. As we get into Friday afternoon, look what happens. We start seeing snow coming back into the forecast, mixed precipitation, temperatures potentially warming. All of this is going to depend on the track of this low pressure as we go from Friday into Saturday. And we could see a few strong wind gusts with this system as well. And then by 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, you can see rain moving through for some locations and potentially snow along the St. Lawrence River. This could be a significant snow for some locations if it stays all snow. If it transitions to rain, not a significant snow by any means for us. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and kind of watch it. But this system, as cold air starts moving on in Saturday afternoon into Sunday, we start seeing lake effect snow getting going once again, coming off of Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is still 41 degrees. That's very warm for this time of the year. So we need that Arctic air and some moisture, and Lake Ontario is going to be acting up. And it looks like that's going to be coming into play by the time we get towards the later end of next weekend. So we do have lake effect snow in the forecast. We have that wind event for us Tuesday into Wednesday with a little bit of rain, some flooding on Wednesday from snow melt as temperatures rapidly warm. And then back over to lake effect by Thursday. Then we get a break in the action early Friday. And then when another large-scale system comes in the forecast for us by the time we get towards Friday afternoon and Saturday. And then once cold air comes in back behind that system, we start getting lake effect once again. So if you've been wondering, where's all the active weather? Well, it's here. Winter is here, and it looks like we're going to start seeing snow. And I have to be honest with you, it's going to be hard for us to find one particular 24-hour period in the foreseeable future where we don't have snow falling somewhere within the North Country. That's how active our weather pattern is going to be continuing. But as far as going towards Sunday during the day, you can see that lake effect continuing, coming off of Lake Ontario. We'll have to watch to see if this is potentially significant for us for next Sunday. Still a lot of time to get through, a bunch of weather systems to get through. But yes, the big takeaway from this is we're going to be very active, and we do have that damaging wind in the forecast as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday, and then some snow returning on the back edge of that. So snowmobilers, get ready. Those snowmobile trails will eventually open, but give it a little bit of time to build a base before you hit those trails.